This brief video introduces you to the benefits of LORENZ authorBridge. What is LORENZ authorBridge? authorBridge is a collection of templates in Microsoft Word format. authorBridge helps create the source files for regulatory submissions. There are no plugins and no macros in the templates. And authorBridge contains a custom-built ribbon which provides easy access to out-of-the-box MS Word functionality. What does LORENZ authorBridge do? First, it provides skeleton content for regulatory submission source documents. It allows authors to simply begin typing into a pre-structured, pre-formatted document. Next, authorBridge promotes compliance with document submission readiness standards. This in turn promotes efficiency since document standards are correct at the point of creation. As a result, submission publishers will spend less time remediating documents and more time focusing on the technical accuracy of their e-submissions. Finally, authorBridge promotes standardization across all regulatory submission documents. Companies can enjoy a clean, uniform look and feel to all documents, as well as easy reuse of a document or its subcomponents. Now, let's take a brief look at the product. We'll open up Microsoft Word and we'll navigate to File, New, My Templates. From here, I'll select a template and let's navigate down to authorBridge template for 273, Summary of Clinical Efficacy. I'll create a new document based on that template. From here, the skeleton document appears. Let's take a brief look at some of the features. First off, the margins. The margins have been specially formatted to allow you to create documents in US letter or A4 format and easily transition those documents back and forth for global reuse. I will also point out that the left margin is slightly wider in case someone wants to print this document and put it into a binder for review. Now let's take a look at the header. The header is in tabular format and has certain information encapsulated in it. 1, the CTD section number. 2, the CTD section, the word confidential, the page number, as well as a text insertion point, in this case asking for the product name. The footer, as I will point out, is left free for submission-specific overlays of text. Now let's take a look at some of the features. A table of contents has been pre-built here, and there's a text insertion point that when I click, asks me to insert the table of contents using the Table of Contents button. That's found on the LORENZ authorBridge ribbon. So let's take a look at some of the features of the ribbon, and then we'll generate our table of contents and type into our document. The authorBridge ribbon has certain subsections. The first is for numbering of text. That's heading styles 1 through 9. But you can also enter those as unnumbered heading styles. You have pre-formatted styles here to accentuate certain text as bold, italicized and underlined, or hyperlink blue. You have a whole section for formatting. This creates fast lists, bulleted lists or numbered lists, subtext and supertext, as well as insertions of hyperlinks and footnotes. You have pre-formatting for tables, which we'll investigate later, stock symbols that can be taken, and PK symbols as well. So now we're ready to generate our table of contents, and I'll go to my Tables subsection of the ribbon, and I'll simply generate my table of contents. I'll hit OK, and it's going to generate this table of contents based on the heading styles that it's already found in the document. I have a section for table of tables and tables of figures if they're relevant to this document. Let's go ahead and generate a table of tables. I see that I do have 2 tables that are pre-built into this template already. Now let's move down and enter some text into our document. Let me point out that when I toggle the paragraph button on and off, I can see that there's hidden text in the document. This text is a guidance for the author to show what should go in which section. This text is Microsoft Word hidden text, which means that it will not print to paper or render to PDF. So I will turn that off and start bringing text into my document. Now I'm going to use some pretend Latin text, compliments of 4 guys from Rolla.com, to flesh out our document. So I have some text in here. I will point out that when the text gets put into these text insertion points, it inherits the font and style behind it, so that's already submission-ready text. Now let's take a look at some of the other things we can do. First, I'd like to make a cross-reference to another section of this document. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say please see, and then I'm going to activate my cross-reference button and select the appropriate heading. In this case, let's choose persistence of efficacy and or tolerance, and I will insert the heading text. Now here, this is an MS Word field, and by default it's not blued, so I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make it a hyperlink blue from my styles subsection of the ribbon. I may also wish to put subheadings in here, in which case I will add a heading and make this a numbered heading level 2. If I need to insert a table into my document, I can use the tables toolbar here, and let's make this a 5-row table. I'll show you quickly how to format this table nicely. And we will add some data to this table. Let's use the PK symbols as the headers. And let's enter some data into the table. So I have some quick options for formatting my table from the Tables section of my authorBridge ribbon. If I want to justify everything left, I will hit the Table Left button, and that will apply the appropriate font and the appropriate spacing to this table. I can also table center or align at the decimal point. The heading, however, I will apply the appropriate table heading style to. And finally, I'd like this table to have a caption so that it can be included in the table of tables. And I'll enter that caption right now, and we'll just call this sample table. And I will put a tab there as well. Now I've created a cleanly formatted table. Let's take a look finally at the symbols toolbar here within the authorBridge ribbon. This contains preset symbols. They are accessing the appropriate underlying fonts, and this is very important because we want to make sure that this document renders appropriately to PDF. Finally, I'll go back up to my table of tables, and I'm going to update this now, which I can do easily here from the authorBridge ribbon. I will update the entire table, or I can simply use the right-click option to update the field. And finally, as best practice, I'll update this table as well. I'm ready to save my file. And now I'm ready to create a submission-ready PDF from this file. So let's go to our Acrobat ribbon here, and we'll create our PDF. First, I'd like to show you that in the preferences, we have conversion settings that come with the authorBridge product. And these are known as Adobe Job Options files. These dictate the advanced settings of your conversion to PDF, things like PDF compatibility, resolution, image compression, font embedding, color, as well as other advanced options. And we're going to use the conversion settings for our US letter. Let's go ahead and create this PDF. Now, Adobe PDF Maker is rendering this authorBridge document to PDF. And the output now, as we can see, is a clean, submission-ready PDF files, which already contains the bookmarks based on the MS Word heading styles. This is a brief overview of LORENZ authorBridge. Thank you for your time and attention.